we have a real mix of things on today's show, and my first guest is a very good friend of mine, an employer for a few years, as a matter of fact, and they have a really unique situation, and their big Centennial year is coming up. And we know them, stock contractors, one of the greatest rodeos in the world, from the Calgary Stampede. Say hi to Keith Merrington. Hi Keith, first class outfit here, huh?
Yeah, you bet.
Oh, that was sincere. Yeah, you bet. Yeah, I gotta make sure my phone's not gonna ring while we're on the. But it could be.
There's actually a sign out there that said, "Flint, be humble."
Flint, be humble?
That's what it said on the sign.
On the whiteboard?
On the whiteboard, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know who.
I wrote something nice when you leave, you'll see.
I don't. Yeah, you wrote something nice.
It was real nice, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure we can't bring it out here because. No. You asked me what words we couldn't say on this show, and that pretty much eliminated.
Can we say them?
No, you can't say them. I told him we could. There was 3 words we couldn't say. So, you guys wanted to have you on. For one, the first thing I want to cover. You guys are such a unique situation. I don't know if people out in the rodeo world completely understand it because it took me a long time. When a horse bucks, you have such great horses, and you say this horse is from the Calgary Stampede. People think of the event itself, but you guys are a stock contracting firm.
Shoppers, don't forget to check the autograph.
That's the first time all week they've done that. First time. Thanks, Kurt. Nice job.
You're the one who made the call, man.
But anyway, you're a stock contracting firm as well as a great event, right?
Yeah, we do. We do a lot of rodeos. First of all, we have a 25,000-acre ranch about 2.5 hours northeast of Calgary. We're beating 100 mares a year. We have probably be around 600 horses total, 100 bulls. We start our year out in January. We do the National Western in Denver for Marv Witt, great rodeo. And then we head to Texas for about 6 weeks. We do San Antonio, and then we go to San Angelo and Houston, and we head home. Spring's a busy time for us. Our mares start to foal about middle April, and so April, mid-May, we're fairly busy.
You just foal your mares out on the ranch?
Yeah, fairly close to the buildings, and then we start our domestic rodeos. Then we do probably 3 shows before the Calgary show in July, and then post Stampede we do a couple more shows locally, and then we saddle up again and we hit the Northwest. We go to Hermiston, Oregon, Caldwell, Idaho, Bremerton, Washington. We pop up into BC and do the Tour Finals, Canadian Tour Finals. Then we go back and do Ellensburg, and then we do the shootout at Puyallup, and then we go back home. And in the meantime, we do a few PBR events at home, locals, and we do the Canadian Finals, and then we come down here. So, in all, we rodeo about 135 days last year.
So I can picture when you're out on the ranch north of Calgary in January, getting ready to load horses to head south to Texas. I picture it as like in the Depression when they used to pull the truck up and pick people out who wanted a job. Do your horses line up and go, "It's Northern Alberta, I want to go," and then they make fun of them from the truck?
Well, you know, our weather, and that's one of them actually, we bought Grated coconut here.
Yeah.
But no, you know, it's, we have the opportunity when we go to Denver to take a couple of loads of our young horses down there. So we'll be flipping them back and forth as the 8 weeks. When we rodeo in Texas, you'll see there are NFR horses that we have here will be in Texas. But we don't really pack our young horses, our S-colts, or 6-year-olds will be going to Denver this year. And we were quite fortunate this year. We had a really good group of 5-year-olds, and they took 9 5-year-olds to the Canadian Finals. We had 40 horses up there, and they did awesome. So those kind of horses would be in, they'll see them next year here, hopefully, and then we'll be in Texas.
And incredible horses. That's one of my favorite things about going to Calgary is all of your horses. Then you have people like the Kesslers come in. Shane Franklin brings horses. Bruce Sundstrom brings horses. let's see who else. Thinking all the Canadian contractors.
We stay true to our Canadian guys, but we have Mike Corey bring some bulls up too. Brownie Brothers bring some bareback horses up. So we do use a few of the U.S. contractors. We rodeo in the Northwest with Flying Five, a big band, so they bring some horses up to us too. So and we're kind of like the Canadian finals and or the NFR. When we ask guys to bring horses to Calgary, we get to pick them. Not like so we're going to load up a bunch of horses and bring them. We get to pick them, and we pay quite well. And the guys like to bring the horses.
I know. I don't even bring a horse.
Did we pay you? Did we pay you last year? Yeah.
Yes.
We're actually
in Canadian. You remember the old days? I used to say, I want to be sure and get paid U.S. funds. And now you call and I'll say, hey, if you want to pay me Canadian, that's fine. It's okay.
We're actually really fortunate to have Flint, and then Flint is probably the only rodeo he does outside of his PBR commitments.
Yeah, it's the only one I do.
The only one he does, because when our format is, we are PBR approved. So the money the guys win in Calgary, the bull riders, that gets them to the Vegas.
Yeah, to the PBR
standards. Yeah.
You can say those 3 letters on this show.
Can I? Well, I didn't know that, but we have a really good relationship with the PBR, and we've got a great relationship with the associations, the Canadian Association and the PRCA. But as many of you might or might not know, our 10-day rodeo is not sanctioned. We were prior to 2007, and
talk about that was my next thing I wanted to ask you. Because I think I tell people in Montana, I think they're missing out not going to the Calgary Stampede because it's such a great show. And I know from my hometown, the day I have to go, it's 4.5 hours and I'm on the Stampede grounds. But your format is so different that it's a unique rodeo every day. Tell us how the events are structured real quick.
Okay, well, we have the 6 events. The only
no team roping.
We have no team roping, no. And we have a prize pool of $2 million, and you have to qualify to come to Calgary. And so we take the 20 we feel the best athletes, cowboy athletes, cowgirl athletes that are out there, and we qualify 17. And the qualifying process is actually the 2011 Calgary winners. That's their first qualifier. So the guys that won last year, Shane Proctor won the bull riding. He'd be back. And then our next qualifier, we do the tour finals, as they have a tour in Canada, about 8 or 9 rodeos, and they're all PRC approved and CPR approved. And then they have their tour finals in Armstrong, BC, which is a small community. If you know where Kelowna is, it's about an hour north of Kelowna. Great community, have a great fair there. That's where the tour finals are. So the winners of the tour finals get to qualify. So we've qualified 2 athletes at that point in time. The next qualifier is the Canadian Finals Rodeo, which just happened in Edmonton. It's always the first week and they have 6 perfs there, great rodeo. They had 98,000 people and 6 perfs there. So fans really support rodeo in Canada. So we qualify the top 5 in the Canadian standing. So post the CFR Canadian Finals Rodeo, we've got 5. So we got 7 qualified. Then our next qualifier will be the PRCA, the top 10 in the PRCA after the NFR. So next Saturday, whatever's posted on the website, and the top 10 guys will be crossed. Now we got 17. Then what we do, we wait till the big winter rodeos are over at San Antonio and Houston, and then we have a selection committee of 6, which I sit on, and then we have a selection. We select 3 guys. And we do that in a number of ways. If somebody got hurt, a good guy that got hurt and he was out for a while and he deserved to come back, or a new young up and comer, or that we feel that needs to be there, so we select 3. So up until then, we've got our 20 contestants. It's a little bit different in the bull riding because we're associated with the PBR guys. So we take the top 9 out of the PBR Vegas series, and then a combination of just what I said. So we don't select any bull riders. So we've got 10 contestants in each pool, and our pools we're a 10-day show. So we go first 4 days, the 10 cowboys, cowgirls that'll compete. And what happens then is it's a different rodeo every day because we have a winner every day. We have our demographics are we've got a lot of Europeans and we got a lot of non-rodeo people there. So people maybe come on a Monday or Tuesday, they want to see a winner. So we have a awards presentation every day. So, and it's based on money won. So after 4 days you compete, the top 4 money earners would automatically go to Saturday.
Sunday.
No, or Sunday. You're right. They go to Sunday. Thank you. See, he is paying attention.
You're welcome.
They go to Sunday. So we got 4 qualified already. So the bottom 6 that didn't make it, they get to come back to a wild card day, which is on the Saturday.
Which I call Loser Saturday.
Loser Saturday.
Yeah.
So we do that all over again after the next 4 days. So like I said, it's a different rodeo. So if a guy misses a calf or gets bucked off or whatever, it's no big deal because he can start the next day. We're a little bit different. We don't have the spur out rule. So when they say and the crowd groans, missed them out, we have no spur out rule.
I think that's the greatest. I actually said to some PRCA guys, I think when we get to the NFR, the mark out rule in rough stock should be waived because to me it does not have any bearing on who's the best rider for those 10 days.
I agree with that, and we waived that. We waived the rule when we went to the non-traditional or traditional rodeo, and we also we implemented another rule 2 years ago where we don't have the 6-second rule in calf roping. So as soon as that guy's cowboy's butt hits the saddle, it's official, and you lose all that octaves of that calf kicking around or something. So slack the rope is done official. And I remember 2 years ago when we had our short go, 7 seconds didn't bring you back to the finals. So, they're quick.
Yeah,
So you go 2 pools, so that means you got 8 qualified to go to the Sunday, and then the wild card day, which is a Saturday, you got 6 out of each pool, so that gives you 12 in there, and then we take the top 2 out of that, so they move forward, so you got 10.
So what's interesting about the wild card loser Saturday, you maybe didn't win a dime all week. You come back on Saturday and pop off a nice ride or a nice run and you make it, you can still win. And then on Sunday, it's a showdown, 10 go, then 4 go, $100,000 to the winner.
That's correct. But just to go back to the Saturday, the 10 guys that don't move forward, we pay each one of those guys $3,500. So it costs us $35,000 event just to have them come back because they got expenses to get there. So it's not really a loser Saturday. They still get paid. The 2 guys that move ahead have the opportunity.
Well, kind of.
So it's a great format, and it's easy to understand. I mean, like I said, we've got a lot of non-rodeo people in our demographics, and they don't understand averages and how those things work. And so we have big leaderboard, just like you're looking at when you watch a golf tournament on TV, and you just see how the pools go, and people understand it. And it works for us. And not to say we're not great supporters of rodeo, because we are. We've got a great relationship with the PRCA and the CPRA, but this format works for us. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on exit surveys, and we have to listen to the fans, and they're telling us this is what we want, something we can understand. And I'm not saying we're right, but it's gained some momentum because you know what Houston's doing now. And we work very closely with Houston, and when they developed their ground rules and stuff, they called us and went through it. So, and then Denver this year, I'm not sure if you're aware, but they're having their very first day, January 7th, they're having a Super Series non-sanctioned rodeo.
Colorado against the world.
Colorado against the world, and a great format, I think. And they're doing 5 events. They got the 3 rough stock events, and they got barrel racing and steer wrestling. So, I mean, I guess they do the same thing. I mean, nothing against calf ropers or team ropers, but this is what they think is going to work for them.
Sure. And this year is, first, I'd like to say, I think it's funny that you go back and forth across the border with semi-loads full of horses, and my man Kurt Blake, who helps with this show, cannot get into Canada. You shouldn't have drank whiskey and punched somebody in 1993.
No, it's very easy for us to get across the line. It's a little tougher with bulls. I mean, ever since the BSE hit, we have a little, as long as your paperwork's in order, it's not an issue. We're quite fortunate, and they see a Calgary truck roll up, and we usually kind of get this, they know we've been across many times. So,
and this year is the Centennial, the 100th anniversary of the Calgary Stampede. Haven't seen my contract in the mail, but I'm confident that I will be a part of.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but I think it's cool. You've done so much, and it's gotten so big. I know there's a roller coaster on the Midway. Plus, you people got to understand the Calgary Stampede. The rodeo is the one element. It's the 1 o'clock in the afternoon element of the Stampede. Huge midway, the grandstand show at night, the chuck wagon races. There's concerts in the Saddle Dome. It's what you'll go over. What are you expecting for attendance in the 10 days? 1.8 million?
No, we'll probably hit 1.3 this year. We're a little shy of 1.2 last year, and we're going to budget 1.3 because of the special year for us. But just backing up 1 minute, you talked about the 100th anniversary for the Stampede. Last year, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of the Calgary Stampede Ranch.
Yes.
In 1961, we bought the ranch there and started with a few mares, and it's just evolved over the years. So that was a pretty big year for the ranch guys last year, but we're 100 years old.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm supposed to say, wherever Melissa went, calgarystampede.com/mystampede, and it has different people featured with their story of what the Stampede, and I put mine on there.
I saw that.
And mine is every day, every morning, I go, there's a tunnel under the track, and you pop up in the infield, and you can see that huge 18,000 seat grandstand, and I can smell the wood chips that you put in the back pins. And smells give butterflies, and that's the one smell that I get butterflies every single day, the Calgary Stampede.
Yeah, and you're right there. And I'm sure there's some people in the audience that maybe has had a Stampede experience in the past. And if you've ever had one, and Flint mentioned it, calgarystampede.com/mystampede, send us those stories. Because March 29th is 100 days out of the kickoff of Calgary. We're going to start posting all those stories on the website. There's going to be literally hundreds and hundreds of stories. We'd love to hear from you. Surely we would. And to share your experience and along with other people's experience of Calgary. Well,
it's a fun time. And I see I was told that you had something for me.
I think we might have something for you. I'm going to ask Melissa to come out here for a second. Melissa McKay is our Centennial coordinator, so we do got to have a little jacket. This is our Centennial jackets. They were designed by Roots Canada, who did all our Olympic stuff for our skiers and our athletes, these will be for sale probably mid-February to 1st of March, so online. How you doing?
Very good. It's good. I'm wearing it. Wearing it for the show.
I appreciate it
today. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, could you just check on the contract? Thanks, Melissa. Good to see you. And there's only 8 of these in existence right now. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, right now there's 8, but we'll have a bunch of them for sale pretty quick.
Oh, well, great. Well, listen, thanks for... You can stay. You can stay. So, we appreciate it.
Do we take questions, or...?
Maybe if we have time.
All right.
So,
but seriously, if anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to talk to you one-on-one after. If you have any questions,
stick around. Keith will stay up the stage. That'd be great. Keith Merrington, Calgary Stampede.
I'll just slide over so you next guest.
Oh, by the way, yes. I just want you to know my favorite bucking horse of all time, Grated Coconut from... Can
we talk about him for one minute?
I actually meant to bring that up. He's retired, living a life of luxury, breeding mares. But you have a few babies here of his.
Yeah, we do actually. Grated Coconut, I mean, we feel one of the best bucking horses ever. 6-time world and Canadian champion, many times champion here. We retired him in 2010. He's 13 years old. He's a G, so he was born in 97. And actually, he has not covered a mare in probably the last 4 years, because we've got an embryo program that we collect him and we breed mares with hot and cold semen, and we flush those mares and our better mares so we can raise those better colts and keep bucking the mares. In fact, there's two flush colts out tonight. So if you're all going to the rodeo, in the bareback, there's a P65 Princess Warrior, and you've heard of the horse Fearless Warrior. We flushed her back in the P year, and we got two embryos out of her. And one of her babies in Grated Coconut's out tonight. Another horse called R81 Rapper Margie. Bobby Moat was 90 points on this, and just a 6-year-old. in Puyallup at the short round, and she's out tonight, and Jason Havens has got her. So test two babies, and you get to see them perform.
Well, I know one thing. One of the most entertaining things you'll ever see: the novice bareback and saddle bronc riding at the Calgary Stampede, and those young 18-year-old novice bronc riders get to ride 4-year-old colts by Grated Coconut, and it is a disaster. So thanks for coming, Keith.
Okay,
appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet.
There you go.
Thanks, folks.
It is entertaining. Poor kid, 18 years old from Browning, Montana, and he's on a Grated Coconut colt. As Tallman would say, slapped him on the ground like a wet rag on the counter in the kitchen. Montana. Anyway, our next guest, it kind of fits because he is a 3-time Canadian champion tie-down roper. It's always pink day for this guy. Welcome, tie-down roper Tyson Durfee. How you doing, Tyce?
Outstanding, glad to be here.
So, before we start, we were talking backstage, your week, you're plugging away, your week's going pretty well.
Yeah, it's going pretty good. Split 5th and 6th in the first round. Got a second in the second round, thanks to Cody Oll. And,
thanks, Cody.
Imagine that, you know.
Yeah.
And then we just got 2 more down, so I'm going to finish off.
You're plugging away. But like we said, about round 7 or 8, you guys